Are you still wasting time clicking around in Rslogix Designer, hunting and pecking with your mouse, digging through endless menus? If the answer is yes, even just sometimes, then this explainer is definitely for you. We've all been there. You know the feeling. The plant is down, or you're deep in a commissioning phase, and literally everyone is watching you. The pressure is on. Every single second is critical. And in those moments, slowly poking around with a mouse, well, it's not just slow, it's a real bottleneck that can cost you serious time and money.
So, what's the fix? Well, it's the secret weapon of pretty much every pro programmer out there: keyboard shortcuts. And look, this isn't just about shaving a couple of seconds here and there. We're talking about a fundamental shift in your workflow. It's about unlocking a new level of speed, a new level of precision, and actually letting you focus on what matters, the logic, not fighting with the interface.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, Navigating like a Pro. Because, let's face it, you can't edit code if you can't find it, right? Getting around your project fast is the absolute foundation. So let's look at how to stop scrolling and start, flying through your logic.
Okay, just look at this comparison. The slow way, you gotta right-click, find New Tag, type the name, click Create. That's what, 4 different steps? The pro way, you just hit Control+W, boom, done. The new tag window pops right up. Just think about how much time that saves when you're doing it for hundreds, maybe thousands of tags.
Oh man, this one is an absolute game changer, especially for troubleshooting. So forget the whole right-click, navigate to find all uses, and then wait for it to load. Just select the tag, or the instruction, and hit Control+E. And just like that, you get a cross-reference showing every single place that element is used. This is absolutely critical when you need to understand the ripple effect of a change you're about to make.
All right, be honest. Are you guilty of that endless scroll through the controller organizer, just hunting for one specific routine? We've all done it. Well, it's time to stop. With Control+G, you get the go-to box. Just start typing the name of whatever you're looking for, a tag, a routine, hit Enter, and you are basically teleported right there. It is the ultimate search function for your entire project.
Good code is well-commented code, but let's be real, it can be a total chore. So instead of that super tedious click path, double-click the rung, go to Properties, find the Documentation tab, just forget all that. Highlight the rung or the tag, hit Control+D, and you're immediately in the description field. It makes keeping your code clean and understandable so much faster.
All right, so we're navigating like pros. Now let's get to the main event, editing your logic at lightning speed. Seriously, this is where you're going to see a massive transformation in how you work.
Okay, these 3 commands right here, they're about to become your new best friends. Need a new rung? Bam, Control+R. Want to drop in an instruction? Just hit the Insert key and start typing what you need. XIC, OTE, TON, whatever. Then just hit Enter to start editing its arguments. This keyboard-only flow, this is what really separates the pros from the amateurs. Okay, so before we get to one of the most powerful shortcuts in the entire program, we need to quickly talk about this concept, toggling a bit. All it means is forcing a piece of logic to be true or false, basically overriding whatever its current state is. It's absolutely essential for testing your code without needing actual real-world inputs to be on or off. So picture this. You're debugging some complex sequence. You need to pretend a sensor just turned on to see if your logic actually does what it's supposed to do. You need to force that bit on.
Or maybe you need to force it off to see what happens when that sensor signal disappears. Instead of writing a bunch of temporary code or messing around with physical jumpers, you just highlight the bit and hit Control+T. It just flips the state. Instantly. On, off, on, off. I'm telling you, this one shortcut alone can save you hours and hours during commissioning.
All right, Section 3. Let's talk about controlling your workspace. A cluttered screen is a slow screen. All those windows and toolbars can get really distracting. So let's look at how to manage your entire environment efficiently, all without touching the mouse.
These commands right here give you total control over your screen real estate. Need more room to see your ladder logic? Alt+0. Boom. The controller organizer is gone. Need to check for errors after you verify everything? Alt+1 brings that error window right back up. And maybe my personal favorite, Control+Tab lets you just fly through all your open routines without ever having to click on those tiny little tabs. It's all about cutting out the noise and staying focused on the code. Okay, everything we've talked about so far is standard but super powerful.
But now, it's time for the pro-level upgrade. This is a feature that, honestly, a lot of programmers don't even know exists. Let's unlock the Custom Quick Keys feature.
And don't worry, this is a super simple one-time setup that will pay you back forever. You just go to your Tools menu, select Options, find the Ladder Editor section, and then click on Quick Key. All you have to do is check that little box to enable it. What does this do? It lets you assign your own single-letter shortcuts to your most used instructions. Think X for an XIC, O for an OTE. It is the ultimate speed boost.
So let's just do a quick recap of the biggest power moves we covered. First, Control+E to cross-reference anything instantly. Then, Control+T to toggle bits while you're testing, a huge time saver. And finally, Control+G to jump anywhere you want in your project without ever having to scroll. I promise you, if you just master these three, it will dramatically change how you program. So it's really time to break that habit. Every single time you reach for the mouse, it's a little moment of lost focus, a bit of wasted time. So make a conscious effort to keep your hands on that keyboard. Stop clicking, start programming like a pro.
And that just about wraps it up. We've gone over the essentials, but, there are always more tips and tricks out there. So our final question for you is this. What's your absolute go-to shortcut? The one you can't live without that we didn't mention on this list? Go ahead and share your best tips in the comments below. We'd love to see them. Thanks for tuning in.